Hi guys, how are you? Happy freaking September. It's September. I can't even believe it. My calendar still says July. Goes to show you how much I've done in my office. I wanted to kind of go over what I was able to accomplish in month 5 and 6 of being a full-time self-published author. If you're new here, I quit my job effective as of March 1st, 2020. And then of course, you know, Twilight Zone happened. The world has just been a crazy place. It seems that we are still on that crazy path of Twilight Zone, especially for me. As you can see, I have lights. Yay! I'm so happy that I have power. It's been on and off. Today it was off and didn't come on till around 5 or 6 p.m. So that's just what's gonna happen until everyone in my area actually gets power. But I'm home, the lights are on, I have hot water. I've got a lot to be grateful for right now. And so if you didn't know, I went to Yellowstone. I left on August, what day was it? I left on August 15th and I had planned to be gone until August 31st. Hurricane Laura happened and we ended up cutting our trip short and coming home. Yeah, so the last half of August, I really didn't do anything. I was on vacation. I was taking my first vacation that I've had since really October. I've gone places, but I use them as like working vacations where I actually have my laptop and I'm working wherever I am. I'm writing or doing whatever the case is. But this trip was a blackout trip. I was not going to be on my phone. I was not going to have service. I was not going to be on my laptop unless we were traveling from place to place. And so we all know how that ended up. I was going to record the July video before I left, but there was so much going on in my life at the beginning of August to try to get a book ready to be published. It published like August 13th, I believe, and then I left 2 days later. So most of my time in August was spent trying to make sure that that book was ready and that Brooke had everything that she needed because I was gonna be off the grid. And yeah, welcome. So happy to be here. Super happy to be here, really. I made notes on the trusty iPad so I wouldn't forget anything. I'm sure Brooke will watch this and tell me that I did forget something because most of the time I do. We've got so much stuff going on that I forget some little things. She's always like, hey, you forgot to mention that we did this and that. And I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that, didn't we? So this is month 5 and 6. We wrapped up the Together with Love anthology. It's an anthology that we put together to basically give back to our readers. There was a lot of people that was stuck at home at that point, and so we all wrote short stories to put in an anthology that was taken off of all the retailers, and we donated the proceeds that the book made to Feeding America. We were offered a translation contract for 3 of our books from our agent, which we did agree to go ahead and sign the contract for. I don't know if it's public knowledge yet. I don't know what I can and can't say about that, so I am just going to leave it there. It's very exciting. It's a language that we are currently not in. It's a really good thing for us. We have decided to take back our audiobook productions. It's something that we did back in the very beginning with the Checkmate Duet series. We produced the audiobooks ourselves. We hired a narrator, and after selling 14 audiobooks, we decided that it was something that we wanted to take back control of, because we have that ability because we're self-published authors. We really like the dual narration because Kennedy Fox, we do write in dual POV. So we've got a female point of view and a male point of view, and they both have their own character arcs. And so we knew that we wanted to have a male and female performer for those books. And so what we did was we hired 2 different female narrators and 2 different male narrators to do 2 different books. They are actually finished. They are uploaded on ACX. One of them has been released, which is Hitching the Cowboy, and the other one, which is The Two of Us, I don't believe is actually live yet, but will be very soon. Brooke uploaded that one while I was away on vacation, so any day now that book will drop in audio format. Currently in the process of taking care of our backlist, so trying to get all of the Circle B Ranch books caught up. We have Catching the Cowboy that's being produced right now. We have Keeping You Away, Needing You Close, which is our duet series series that just recently released in July and August. And so we're in the process of getting those done as well. I'll tell you, with audiobook narration, guys, it is not a cheap process if you're paying outright for it, which we are. But audiobooks are one of those things that if you are a self-published author, I think that you should try to get your books produced, because eventually you will make your money back on those. It might be a month, it might be a few years, but eventually it will break even. And plus, I think a lot of places are moving more towards the audiobook realm. It's not as competitive as ebooks are, but it will be. And so you want to be in that space. And we are. All of our books will be produced in audio. Like I said, we sold 14 books to publishers. We did the first 6 of the Checkmate Duet series ourselves, and we're getting all of our other books produced right now. And eventually the goal is to be caught up with writing so we can release audio and ebooks and paperbacks, hardbacks, all together at the same time. We finished writing Needing You Close. That book actually released in August. It was number 12 on Apple overall in the store. Brooke, you could probably tell me if I'm wrong. The lowest that I ever saw it get on the Apple store was number 12, which is really cool. I was pretty excited about that. Another thing is we applied for BookBub. Taming Him is free right now. We've got newsletter pushes and ads to really push that series. We have pre-order up now for our audiobooks with Tantor, who recently they took the other 2 books, which made us super happy because we had readers who were like, hey, we want these other 2 books in audio. Anyway, we signed the contract. I don't know if I actually talked about that. And the pre-orders are up for those. So that was a really cool thing as well. We are taking part in an anthology, which actually releases next week. Brooke has been basically spearheading that. We got This Is War and This Is Love re-edited because we wrote those books in 2016. So it's called Keep My Heart. It's a top shelf romance collection thing that Willow Winters does. And the authors that are in our collection is Kennedy Ryan, which I absolutely adore, guys. Her books are fantastic. Willow Winters, love listening to her talk about different things. She was at RAM last year and I just ate up all the knowledge that she shared. And then Lex Martin. And so the Checkmate Duet series, Travis and Viola's stories, are in that collection. And like I said, it releases next week. And even if you've already read our books and you like to read romance and you have not read Kennedy Ryan or Lex Martin or Willow Winters, I would say grab this collection, because if you bought all of the books individually, it would be about $25. And I believe that it's releasing at $9.99, so it's like a super amazing deal to be able to get all of these books for that price. And the cover is really pretty. I really like it. But yeah, so we're taking part in that. Another thing that we are doing is I don't know if I should actually talk about this yet, but we are planning something for the end of the year with a bunch of other authors. Brooke took care of all the stuff for that. We got the cover made. She's rounded up the authors. It's going to be a really cool thing. I don't know if I can actually announce it yet because I don't think that we have. There will be more information on that as soon as I've been given the green light to just tell y'all all the things. But there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in the background in July and August. We plotted Wrangling the Cowboy. We're currently writing that book. It releases in October. We plotted that. I think it took about 2 days. Most of you know that when me and Brooke plot, we voice chat each other and we just go back and forth, just throwing different ideas at each other, making sure the plot makes sense. And then of course we go back and read it and we're like, hey, did we ever talk about this? Because it's a bunch of interconnected characters. It happens on the Bishop Ranch. This is the spin-off series of that with their kids. So we always have to remember like different characters and parents and who they're with and what all these kids' ages are. Fun. Another big thing that we accomplished was we reworked our release schedule for the next 2 years. We rearranged the way that books are being released. We changed dates. We did a lot of different things, just trying to adapt to give our readers what they want. We chatted with our publicist and we were like, hey, this is kind of like our ideas. What suggestions do you have? Basically decided to move the way that some books were released so we could finish series quicker and then promote those entire series and then start all over. We are currently scheduled with books through 2022. Most of those books have covers. I know. We are in the process of deciding what we're going to do for 2023 and 2024. That's how far ahead we are with our planning. You know, people are always like so surprised. They're like, oh my gosh, y'all are so far ahead. We know that if we set up a date for a book, 99% of the time we are going to make that. And so for the rest of the year, our goal is to get ahead with writing, be at least 2 to 3 books ahead. So we're not writing deadline to deadline because it gets a little stressful and you never know when you're gonna get sick. You never know when a hurricane's gonna come. You don't know that and you can't predict the future. And that's something that I have learned in 2020. My life has been so crazy and so weird, and if anybody would have told me back in 2019, hey, next year all these things are gonna happen to you, I would have laughed in their face. I would have never ever believed it. And I'm one of those people who likes to have control. I'm one of those people who likes to know what situation I am getting into, but I'm also very adaptable to situations. So I'm okay. My vacation was ruined, but the time that I did get to spend, I had an amazing time. We hiked about 16 or 17 miles in 3 days. I got to go to Jackson Hole and to Jackson, Wyoming. I got to see the famous barn. I saw a bear. I saw a moose, I saw a coyote. You know, everybody says don't go to Yellowstone because you are the reason why hurricanes come, but I am planning my trip for next year. Again, I don't care. There will eventually be a time I can go to Yellowstone and a hurricane will not hit my house. I will be leaving with pictures and my cat, anything else of importance that may not be here when I get back. I will be well prepared next time. July and August was a busy month. We got a lot accomplished. It was a lot of writing and a lot of editing. I don't want to discredit that whatsoever because we did a lot of that. And I actually went ahead and tracked every hour that I edited because a lot of people ask me, well, you know, how long does it take you to edit a book? And I say, well, 7 to 10 days. And people are always like, wow, that's not very long. And so I realized that I should probably track the hours because the hours is what matters. Because I could work 12 hours in a day on a book. You could work 2 hours in a day. And so when I say 7 days, you think I'm spending 14 hours on it. But I spent, it was 127 hours editing from beginning to end. And that's me reading it, rewriting, and going over Brooke's edits. That's not counting going over editor edits. I didn't track that. So I'm just talking about self-edits, not including Brooke's time that she spent editing as well. I will edit for 6 to 10 hours depending on where I am in the story. Found a timer on my laptop, pressed the timer, logged it. It was great and it was very eye-opening for me. So there was a lot of time spent editing and there was a lot of time spent writing in those 2 months. Our readers loved the book. They loved the hook that we had in the first book. Loved the twist that we had in Needing You Close. And I think that me and Brooke nailed that twist, guys. Everyone who has read it has just been blown away, didn't expect it, and that's what I love about it. That's why I love writing, to be able to just surprise and shock people. I almost forgot. For Lyra Parish, I did absolutely nothing, and I did read 2 books in August. I read Where Did You Go, Bernadette, and The Strange and Ugly, I can't even remember what the title's called. All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. It was like an award-winning book back in like 2012 or 2013. It was highly recommended, so I bought it and I read it and I enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I really liked it. So yeah, I did read 2 books. I was very proud of myself for being able to do that. I read them in about, I don't know, 8 days. These are all the books I've read this year, and then these are all the books that I need to read, plus there's like 5 more right here. And so yeah, my goal is to try to read a book per week, finish writing Wrangling the Cowboy and editing it, and I'm gonna be live streaming. I'm going to be posting more videos. Publishable will be meeting again in September, which I'm really excited about. It'll be held on Meg's channel, iWriterly. Me and Brooke, not my writing partner Brooke, but Brooke Passmore, we are going to be doing Witching Hour live sprints in September, and I am super excited about those. And I just have a lot of things going on. I've got a lot of videos to make that I've just been putting off, and I'm ready for it. Like, this is my season, guys. Fall and winter, they are my season, and I'm here for it, and I hope that you are as well. I am the fall queen. Oh, my shirt. Yep, you had me at pumpkin spice because it is officially September. And I don't have any plans in September other than writing. Of course, me and Brooke are throwing around ideas for promotions and stuff of that nature because that's what we always do. If you're not subscribed, I would recommend just subscribing. Click the bell so you get the notifications. Everything is going good. I'm trying to find the silver lining in all of this BS, and I'm just taking everything one day at a time. That's all I've really got, guys. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. I'm so happy that you're here and hope you have an amazing, incredible week. You accomplish all your goals and you write all the words, and I will see you very soon.